Now, the Presidency confirming, of course, last night that President Cyril Ramaphosa is meeting with the leadership of Eskom and members of the National Energy Crisis Committee to deal with Stage 6 load shedding. Last night, Ramaphosa cancelled his trip to Switzerland to stay home to deal with the crisis. We do expect that briefing from Eskom tonight, this evening rather, at around 5 o'clock. You'll see that here. We're joined now by the energy expert Lungile Mashele. Lungile, good afternoon to you. We all know the problems at Eskom. We all know how serious it is at Stage 6. Is there anything the President can really do to fix it?
Good afternoon, Stephen. So you'll recall that since 2018, the President has cancelled numerous trips midway to come back into the country to offer some kind of solace or guidance or to commiserate with us. I'm not entirely sure, but it's certainly not to help us. Even in this instance, I think this is the third or fourth trip that he has cancelled or that he is not going to attend. And here we are. I'm not entirely sure what the President is going to do in this particular week that he didn't do last week to help us out of this situation.
I'm also not sure what can only happen because he's in South Africa that can't happen when he's out of South Africa. Absolutely.
This is a president who has ministers through the MRE as well as the who then provide oversight of Eskom. You have an Eskom CEO that is outgoing, but he's still there, COO who's still there. You have an entire board. You have the Electricity Crisis Committee that has been established. I'm just not sure what his remaining in the country is going to do for us either.
Last week, the Energy Minister, if he's been quoted correctly, said that load shedding could be fixed within 6 to 12 months. Does the Minister have any support in that view, or is he on his own?
So he certainly does have support from industry insiders, and it would comprise a number of different things. One of them obviously was getting the adequate board in, looking at getting the right leadership at Eskom, running reliability maintenance, looking at additional capacity, which might be hindered by a lack of transmission capacity, looking at a diversified mix of energy as well, and not just the over-reliance that we've placed on renewables. And more importantly, looking at the two-pronged approach of making sure that Eskom is financially sustainable, one of which is the tariff, and of course the other one is the government's bailout of Eskom, so rather taking a significant chunk of their debt burden. All of these things, all of these interventions combined are aimed at alleviating load shedding by the end of the year.
Could that really happen? I mean, Eskom keeps telling us it's incredibly serious and it can't deal with it now. I mean, 6 months isn't that long away.
So I don't know about 6, but I would say let's definitely give it a year, but it should be the only priority on everybody's table, meaning that you need to ensure that your procurement is up to scratch. You are procuring at a speed and an efficacy we've never seen before. You are looking at an outage maintenance plan that is designed or that has been designed already, because you need to start planning for these at least 24 months in advance. You need to have ordered your long lead items already. So there's a lot of things that should have happened in the project management plan up to this point that would enable load shedding to end by the end of the year. Otherwise, you would be looking at 12 to 2 months.
Sure. I suppose the other question is, could the Stage 6 load shedding we have now get even worse? I mean, could we end up at Stage 7 or Stage 8, unprecedented levels of load shedding?
Oh, definitely. Currently we're on Stage 6, and this is the first time we have been on Stage 6 for such a continuous period of time. So even this is an indicator of how worse things have gotten over time. You will recall that in the past, during the day, maybe we would do Stage 4, in the evening it would be Stage 6. We've been doing Stage 6 24 hours a day. If anything else breaks at Eskom or goes wrong, or they lose any more units overnight, or if demand just has a sudden spike, we are certainly going to find ourselves at higher stages of load shedding.
Lungile, it seems a little contradictory in a way that we're at the worst load shedding we've ever been because Eskom must be at the weakest it's ever been. And yet, you say it's still possible to fix things in 12 months. It seems to contradict itself. I realize there are lots of different things happening at lots of different speeds, all at the same time.
Absolutely. So, even if you speak to the current Eskom executive, they will tell you certain things that they were hamstrung by, and they were not able to achieve what they wanted to achieve. And I would basically say that in order to operate at that level, you need to have what I would call a certain political passport, if you will. You need to have the favor of the ANC government, whether you like it or not. You need to have the favor of the government of the day. You need to enjoy support from industry stakeholders, industry insiders. And unfortunately, where Andre found himself is that he did not have the buy-in of the politicians, nor most businesses or industry experts. Most of us certainly did not believe in the path that he was taking and felt that it was wrong. And truth be told, this is where we are. We've been shouting, we've been screaming at focus on reliability maintenance. It's your only way out. And lastly, he didn't enjoy the support of Eskom people as well. And those are your guardians. Those are the people that should be watching the system and making sure that we all succeed ultimately.
Lungile Mashele, thanks very much indeed, the energy expert. I really do appreciate the time.